Hello, I'm Paul Slater. I'm one of the pastors here at Mission Church of the Nazarene. Recently, I was thinking about a concept that, you'll be surprised where it arose from, but it's the topic of the optimism of grace. I came to this thought as I was reading a report regarding the pandemic in 1919. Yes, I know it began in 1918, actually lasted to 1920, but it was called the Spanish flu. The report I was reading was in a book about the New Mexico District Church of the Nazarene. In it, they were talking about how they had to close their churches for 6 months. Now, they didn't have online services, mind you. When they closed the churches, they closed the churches. In fact, the district superintendent at the time said he didn't even know who the pastors were at some of the churches because they changed so often. People leaving, people dying, whatever the reason. But what's interesting is they lived in the reality of a verse that is very important to you and me. I think we all could say it from memory. Well, I'll give you a start. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. You see, while the services were closed, the church wasn't. And certainly Christ was not closed. He was strengthening believers to share the reality of Christ in their lives. So much so that when they got back together, it was quite a report. People had found Christ. There were people that would be in heaven because of someone telling them about their Savior, and doing so with optimism, the optimism of grace. That's what we want during this time for our church. By the way, let me inform you of how that's going to happen in this next weekend. On Sunday, we're going to have our services outside, yes, at 9:30, and also online on YouTube at 9:30. And so whichever one you want, just choose that. I also want to inform you that you can find a menu of activities, especially the communities of mission communities, we call them. But you'll find that listing on our website, missionnaz.org. There's also an opportunity to give, and we thank you for doing so. Well, I just want to convey to you that living with this optimism is rightfully ours because we are living in the power of the Spirit, and Jesus is our Savior. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.